Do you ever get to a boss fight and it just clicks? Well, that's how I was with boss fights are one of the most crucial elements in a game. Every emotion is cranked to the highest number. Excitement, fear, anticipation. When they're done properly, they can change a person's entire perspective on a game, for better or for worse. That very principle is what led to my complicated relationship with Elden Ring. Before playing the game, actually, even on my first attempts at the game, I put difficulty and quality on the same level. If a boss was needlessly difficult, in my mind, it was bad. A tacky attempt at raising the stakes that only left me frustrated and wanting to quit. I won't go too deep into how I overcame this, because I plan on talking about it at length in another video, but after beating Elden Ring, I finally grew beyond this perspective. Difficulty stopped being an option on the menu, some dial I could turn down before I threw a controller. They're way too expensive to be doing that now. And started to become an actual challenge to overcome. That Revenant wasn't just swiping at random. That Crucible Knight didn't just have his damage increased. There was a pattern, an obstacle, a skill check. So when Shadow of the Erdtree released, I was ready. I had finally grown out of my old habits. I had finally stopped quitting. Which is exactly why I loved Messmer.
Mongrel intruder, that tongue, it seemeth. Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction?
When I walked into the Dark Chamber and saw his introduction, the first thing I remember thinking was, this guy's awesome. Immediately the character spoke to me. His imposing demeanor, the grandeur of his theme. Before I could even prepare, I was killed by his first launch attack. This actually went on for nearly 3 more attempts before I reacted properly.
In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
But after that, I almost reached a flow state. One of my favorite things about Messmer is that pattern I mentioned earlier. Every move smoothly connects with the other, giving you an opportunity to exploit his openings and land an attack. A key focus in Messmer's duel is on balancing both defensive and offensive opportunities. The fight robs you of the chance to run away. There is no fight or flight option. You have to fight. When trying to run away, you'll find the range of his flames and spear to be ever extending, and most times rolling away instead of in will immediately set you up to be skewered. Even more challenging, there's no more light attack spam. The window of opportunity to strike varies, and at times, downright tricks you. Did he thrust his spear into the floor and miss you? Oh great, time to...
Oh my god!
This battle is some of the best work FromSoft have done, varying challenge and difficulty. I was forced to break the habit of just spamming R1 and actually vary my movement. But, if I'm being honest, the fight alone wasn't just what made me feel so strongly about Messmer. In reality, it was the mirror. Like I said before, I've had problems with overcoming difficulty. Game too difficult? Fine, won't play it. Got writer's block? Fine, won't write. That mindset has held me back a lot. Over the years, I've probably missed out on many opportunities because of it. And, in fact, it's an aspect of my character I've desperately been working on. Beating Elden Ring was a big triumph in that sense. I'd written off the game as simply not for me the second I hit a hurdle. Now, fast forward 1 to 2 years later, and I've beaten the game 7 times. Of course, it sounds silly to equate a video game to real life experience, but please, don't underestimate the impact these things can have on your life. So as I approached Messmer and fought in his chamber, I realized Messmer represented that challenge for me, the last hurdle. He was the physical manifestation of my own arrogance, my need to win that has followed me around all these years. Losing playing against my brother, avoiding any game called challenging so I never had to lose. Launching forward into an attack that could clearly end me, but of course, I was blinded by ambition, a need to win. Those are characteristics that fit Messmer well too. The scorned son of Marika, cast away into the shadows where his light, his ember, was to be used to burn away others. If it wasn't clear before, I used to be a really sore loser. The more I fought and explored the Shadowlands, the more lore I began to unravel about the character, until, eventually, I felt I could relate to him. I've struggled with feeling out of place a lot in life, both in friend groups and with family. The former is something I don't worry about much these days, because at the very least, I have 2 friends I'm really close with. But the latter, that's something I'm still working on. I find myself wondering, would my family get along better without me? I don't know. The feeling of being out of place, especially within family, is what helped me further see myself reflected in Messmer. A lightless tarnished before a graceless Empyrean. Despite his love for his mother, her hypocrisy isn't lost on Messmer. Marika grants us tarnished grace and gives us the chance to ascend, to seize the Elden Ring and become her consort. Marika granted Messmer grace to seal the Abyssal Serpent, to hide his identity. For Messmer, there is no ascension, no Elden Ring, no maiden, no mother's touch. Just his purpose. Eliminate all those who are lightless. Burn any he shares a kinship with. That alone stands unchanged. Messmer, despite knowing it's his mother's will and hypocrisy that's brought us to his door, still lashes out on us, going as far to unleash the very thing Marika sealed away, the Abyssal Serpent. This fate we grant him, this fight, it's a great injustice to him. Cursed to kill people who are just like him, but instead of banishment, they're offered opportunity, a future. The very thing he wants so badly is unattainable because his mother just doesn't want him. The reason Messmer's character and boss fight worked so well for me is because it held a mirror up to my own problems and insecurities. Even if you're not like me, even if you can't see your own arrogance and burning desire to win, even if you don't feel out of place, you can see the parallels between your tarnished and Messmer. 2 sides of the same coin. And that was thinking about Messmer. The character keeps coming to mind, so I felt it only right to share my thoughts with you guys. So what did you think? Do you like Messmer? Are you a Radahn glazer? Should I make more videos like this? Either way, comment and let me know. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It helps way more than you know. This one was a little different, a little more personal. I hope you enjoyed it and that it connects with at least one of you out there. Oh, and feel free to keep up with me on Twitter, as that's where I mainly post. Now, as usual, thank you for watching, stay safe, and yeah, peace.